Millions of dollars are pouring into Baton Rouge right now, and over the next 5 years, this city is going to see change more than most people realize. Today, I'm breaking it down year by year, what's being built, when it's happening, and which areas are going to feel it first. Let's get into it. Before we get into what's coming, we need to start where Baton Rouge stands right now. So the 2025 baseline where Baton Rouge stands today, let's call it Baton Rouge 2025. This is the before picture because everything that's about to happen builds on the current version of this city right now. Now let's first talk about growth. Baton Rouge is not a boom city like Austin or Dallas. It's not exploding overnight, but that's actually one of its biggest strengths. This is a stability-driven market. The economy here is anchored by real long-term industries. You've got LSU, you've got state government, you've got major healthcare systems, and you've got one of the strongest industrial corridors in the country along the Mississippi River. These are not trends, these are foundations right here. Baton Rouge's dining scene added over 40 new restaurants in 2025 alone, a sign of real consumer confidence and growth. The food scene here is exploding, and y'all know we got some good food here in Louisiana, with national and homegrown concepts choosing Baton Rouge as their next market. Hi, my name is Sharon. I am a relocation specialist. I help families every day move to the Baton Rouge area, and if you're making the move, I would love to help you and your family. My info is in the description below. Now let's talk about housing. The median home price across Baton Rouge Metro sits roughly around $265,000, and that's depending on the area that you live in. This still makes Baton Rouge one of the most affordable capital cities in the country. But here's the change. Homes are no longer flying off the market overnight. Days on the market have stretched closer to around 70 days right now. Inventory is just sitting right under 3 months. And what that means is simple. Buyers are thinking again. They're comparing, they're negotiating stronger than ever, being very selective, and that shifts in behavior is exactly what makes the next few years so important. Because now, where you buy matters a lot more than just buying a house. Stay with me, because in the next section, I'm going to show you exactly what's being built right now in 2026 that most people are not even paying attention to. We'll call it 2026 the foundation year. This is what I call the foundation year because it's going where real estate groundwork starts being laid. And it starts with something that drives Baton Rouge more than anything else: jobs. The industrial corridor along the Mississippi River continues expanding. Areas like Geismar, Plaquemine are seeing ongoing investment in petrochemical, manufacturing, and energy-related industries. And these are not small projects. We're talking about multi-billion-dollar expansions that bring in long-term employment, thousands of workers. And when you bring in that level of job growth, you don't just impact the economy, you impact housing demand. Here's one specific project that should be on every Baton Rouge resident's radar, and that's the Commute Nazis just broke ground on a $25 million expansion of their polymer terminal right here in East Baton Rouge Parish. That's a 300,000 square foot warehouse operational by late 2026. Global chemical companies are choosing Baton Rouge, and that matters. And then here's this: Microsoft that has partnered on an 800 million carbon capture facility at the port of Greater Baton Rouge. Construction starts in 2026. It's expected to create 600 construction jobs and 75 permanent positions. This is a Fortune 500 tech giant putting its name on a project in our backyard. That's the kind of signal that attracts more investment here. Now, at the same time, infrastructure is becoming becoming a major focus. If you live here, you already know, y'all, you know, traffic is one of the biggest decision factors for buyers. So improvements along the I-10, I-12, and key connecting routes start to play a bigger role in how people choose to live. What that does is it slowly expands the map. Areas that once felt like too far suddenly become realistic options, and you start to see more movement into places like Prairieville and Gonzales, because now buyers are balancing three things: price, commute, and lifestyle. And that balance starts shifting outwards. On the city infrastructure side, the Move BR program, the single largest infrastructure initiative in East Baton Rouge Parish history, has already completed more than 25 projects since 2019. There are 70 miles of planned bike paths, and we need that really bad here in Baton Rouge. 200 plus new traffic signals and new roadways in the pipeline. This is changing how the city connects and flows. Also worth watching, there's a renewed conversation about a streetcar or transit link connecting LSU to downtown Baton Rouge along Nicholson Drive, a bus rapid transit corridor that's already in development. Better transit connections along the corridor means higher demand for properties nearby. And if you live in downtown Baton Rouge, you would really appreciate that as well, or if you're visiting LSU. Now coming up, I'm going to show you which specific neighborhoods are starting to transform in 2027. And there's one area that most buyers are still sleeping on. Now 2027 is where things start to become visible and you see the change. This is where Baton Rouge doesn't just feel stable, it starts to feel like it's evolving. Let's start inside the city. Areas like Mid-City and the Garden District begin seeing more consistent reinvestment. You've got older homes being renovated, you've got small-scale infill construction, you've got new businesses opening, and it's not dramatic, but it's steady. And steady reinvestment is what builds long-term value. Now, Baton Rouge is also seeing new retail momentum. One project getting a ton of attention is the new Highline Shopping Center in St. George Parish. It's going to be a 33-acre development that adds more shopping, dining, commercial office spaces. This project is suspected to be the size of twice the size of the Mall of Louisiana, and that's going to be major investment in Baton Rouge. I'm really excited about this one, y'all. Downtown Baton Rouge is getting a serious upgrade. The city plans call for tripling the number of downtown residents. The new residential projects are in development, including the Sharon Downtown 2, which will bring approximately 250 units to North Boulevard. A plan to renovate the River Center is also being discussed, which would boost downtown tourism, convention, and foot traffic. There have been a lot of new apartment buildings downtown. They're trying to revitalize everything because it's just absolutely gorgeous there overlooking the Mississippi River. So we're really excited about the buildup of downtown Baton Rouge. Now, outside the city, the shift becomes even clearer. Ascension Parish continues pulling in buyers at a faster pace. Prairieville and Gonzales keep expanding with new subdivisions, retail growth, and overall development. At the same time, Livingston Parish, places like Denham Springs and Walker, continue absorbing buyers who are focused on affordability. And here's the biggest change in buyer behavior. People are no longer chasing location names. They're chasing what makes sense for their monthly payment and their daily life. And that's why you start to see more spread across the map. Another development to watch is the Cortana Corridor, a 12-mile redevelopment plan led by Build Baton Rouge, is now approved and targeting affordable housing, green space, and improved transit along one of the city's most important but underserved corridors. When corridors like this get investment, the surrounding neighborhoods notice. Now, the next section generation is where things really start to shift, because 2028 is when Baton Rouge starts to feel the difference. And I want to show you exactly why. Because in 2028, you see a lifestyle and development shift. This is when residential growth and commercial development began to catch up with each other. You start seeing more retail expansion, more dining, more mixed-use development, areas near LSU, major hospitals, and key corridors become even more active. And lifestyle starts playing a bigger role in the buying decisions. People don't just want a house anymore. They want convenience. I know I do. Accessibility, things to do nearby, and that shift matters because it starts separating areas that grow from areas that stay the same. Now, one of the developments that is a perfect example of this is the Matera community, on a 100-acre master plan community built on the Women's Hospital campus near Airline Highway and Pecue Lane. It's not just a subdivision, it includes single-family homes in their cute and their quaint apartment, commercial space, and it also has an award-winning Basis charter school on site. This is the kind of live-work community that modern buyers are seeking. And then there's Our Lady of the Lake Healthcare, already the largest private medical center in Louisiana with over 1,020 beds. Our Lady of the Lake is actively expanding its reach across the region, including new cancer treatment services in Gonzales, so Ascension Parish residents can stay closer to home for care. Healthcare expansions like this drive housing demand in the surrounding communities, and we're starting to see this already here, y'all. The University Lakes Restoration Project is also moving forward, a $75 million multi-phase effort to restore the lakes around LSU. Phase 2 is underway through 2026, with a long-term vision transforming the waterfront into major public amenities. Areas near University Lakes will benefit from this year to years to come. And this is a very popular place that we love to go walk around, ride our bikes around, so we're really excited about that renovation here. And at the same time, the Port of Baton Rouge continues playing a massive role. It remains one of the largest ports in the country, and that means continued economic activity, continued job stability, and continued demand for housing. By 2028, that $800 million atmosphere carbon capture facility we talked about earlier is nearing completion at the port. Construction crews are working, permanent employees are being hired. That economic activity ripples outward into West Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas. Here's what I really want you to understand though. By 2029, not every home in Baton Rouge is going to benefit equally from all of the growth. Stick with me, because this is where strategy really matters. The market starts to separate. So this is where people really start to notice what's changed. If you compare Baton Rouge 2025 to 2029, it's not about skyscrapers or massive skyline shifts. It's about how the city functions. You've got stronger suburban corridors. You've got more defined growth patterns. You've got clear demand pockets. And this is where property values start behaving differently depending on the location. Areas near the infrastructure, jobs, and development start outpouring. Other areas kind of just level off. And this is where strategy matters more than ever, because now it's just not about being in Baton Rouge. It's about being in the right part of Baton Rouge. Think about what's operational by 2029. The atmosphere facility is running. The Cocoon Nazis expansion is fully active. Our Lady of the Lake has expanded into more parishes. Matera community is a functional community with everything completed. The Cortana corridor is being rebuilt. The downtown resident population is growing. There aren't projects anymore. This is reality. And the homes closest to all of this will have felt it already. Baton Rouge has earned its first Michelin Guide listing as part of the inaugural American South edition, and that's at LC's Plate and Pie. And if you're here, you need to try it out because it's amazing. And that's a national spotlight on our city's food. Well, y'all know we have some good food here, and our culture, and it matters for relocation buyers who are comparing quality of life between different cities. New projects like the $5.8 billion Hyundai steel plant in Ascension Parish and medical expansions expected to draw thousands of workers to the area. The Hyundai steel plant is expected to be completed by 2029, and this is going to be huge for Ascension Parish and Baton Rouge. Let me bring it all together for you because the full picture of 2030 shows something really important about this market and what it means for you right now. In 2030, Baton Rouge isn't unrecognizable, but it is more defined. You've got stronger suburban growth in Ascension Parish, continued affordability in Livingston Parish, steady reinvestment inside the city. You've got stable job growth, consistent housing demand, and a more balanced market overall. And most importantly, you've got a market that rewards people who understand the shift early. To put this in perspective, between the Atmosphere facility, the Cotonou expansion, the Move BR infrastructure program, Our Lady of the Lake regional expansion, downtown residential development, the Cortana corridor redevelopment, and a new master plan communities like Matera, the Baton Rouge area has billions of dollars committed, real world investments flowing into it over the exact window. And this isn't hype. This is what's really in motion right now. What does this mean for you? Well, if you're a buyer right now, this is a thinking market. You need to look at where growth is happening and going on right now, how infrastructure is changing, what areas are gaining momentum, because not every part of Baton Rouge is going to perform the same. Right now, specifically, areas near Airline Highway and Pacu Lane, the Cortana corridor, Ascension Parish, and the industrial corridor communities of Geismar and Gonzales deserve serious attention from buyers focused on long-term value. If you're a seller, pricing and presentation matter more than ever. Buyers have options again, and they are comparing everything. So if you're thinking about buying, selling, or relocating anywhere in the Baton Rouge area or the suburbs of Baton Rouge, you need a strategy based on where this market is going, not where it was. I'm Sharon, and my team and I help people navigate this market every single week. We track trends, we track the growth areas, price and shifts, all of it, so you can make the right move with confidence. My contact information is below in the description. You can also schedule a one-on-one Zoom call with me, and the link will be below in the description below. And thank you again for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and you can view my weekly videos as I put out more every week on about living in Louisiana. Until the next one.